For a catnap, Brisa? Take your prescriptions.
Team, the wagon is on the move.
Today I'm playing some Shatterline again, and I'm doing that since I heard that there has been quite an update in the game recently, both when it comes to fixes in the game, which is more of a regular thing in a game, but also new content, both for PvE and PvP in the game. So I thought we would talk a bit about that and also what this means for the game in its current state. So recently the developers implemented the R78 update, as it's called, into Shatterline, that besides regular patches and therefore patch notes to be read if you're interested, also added new content. It was some time since I last played Shatterline, and the first thing I noticed was that they've added a 15-minute tutorial when it comes to the PvE mode called Expedition, which can be a good way to explore this game mode in your own pace when it comes to this tutorial, since the way Expedition plays nowadays differs some compared to how it was when I started to play Expedition early on. There's a new expedition encounter called the Corrupted Research Station, if I got it right, and before I say anything else here, by the way, I do know that some players have opinions regarding these changes they've made, not only in this update but also before when it comes to Expedition or the PvE overall, so I therefore leave the comment section open, you might say, for those of you that wants to share your opinions on this one. I played both PvP and PvE in this video, and I was able to play some of the newer PvE co-op missions in the game, and I still believe that these kind of shorter missions can be quite fun to play, alongside with the more in-depth game mechanics and also longer gameplay experience you'll get if you decide to play Expedition. There's a new episode called Stormbringer that I played that comes with the R78 update. Also a new PvP map called Promenade that I wasn't able to play, at least not yet, when I was recording this video. They've added some new weapons as well, a blade, a hammer, a crystalline chain gun that can be found in secret stashes throughout the zone, a hand cannon and a heavy jitting revolver. So the content update is a big one, and that also goes for gameplay balance changes. You can now aim and shoot during a fall, and you remain in first person view while doing so. You can now also jump from heights and pick up your pace seamlessly, and bunny hopping has been tuned down due to balancing, and craftable weapons perks has been rebalanced, which in this case means that most of them has been straight up buffed. There's, as mentioned, a bit more to this as well, but I thought we'd mainly stick around the content when it comes to the update, since I want to hear what you guys that are playing Shatterline on a more regular basis than I am nowadays think about this update. Is it good? Does it add valuable and needed things and changes to the game? And do you believe that these kind of updates should have been made earlier and maybe more frequent as well? I'm asking this since the last time I covered Shatterline, player count was quite low, and there was some criticism already early on that there was cheaters in the game and there wasn't enough made to take care of that issue, alongside with too little content, too late, and also that the progression system in the game is too slow still and therefore shy away some players from the game. So the question is if this updated content added to the game is able to boost the game somewhat, maybe bring some new players into the game, and maybe even attract older Shatterline players to come back to the game. Through the years when I've been both reviewing and covering different kinds of FPS games, most of the time, or the most common thing that let people down, you might say, is if there aren't enough new content being added to the game on a regular basis. That, alongside with cheating, especially nowadays, seems to be the two things that make people shy away from a game and look for something else to play. In the mid of September 2022, Shatterline peaked around 21,760 players, and just about 3 months later the game had around 1,800 peak players. Right now it's peaking around 700 players, so there's just around 350 plus players on average that are playing Shatterline. That is of course player stats that is concerning, so the question is if they are able to turn the tide, meaning improving the game enough and also add enough new exciting content so the numbers start to go up again. I don't want to say that it's impossible, but it will definitely be a hard task and also tough one to accomplish. Also considering that the game has now been out for about a year, and there are new games and releases that wants a piece of the cake as well, meaning recognition and players. for the game, meaning Shatterline, I hope that you're willing to check out the new update and content, especially if you've played the game before, but this might also be a good time to try it out as a newcomer if you're looking for a new shooter, a free-to-play shooter with both PvP and PvE gameplay. Yes, times are tough when it comes to releasing new games. It doesn't really matter what genre we're talking about, but since I'm covering different kind of FPS games, I have to say that once again I hope the best for Shatterline as a game as a whole, because I have seen through the years and quite recently also games that I've played that are being sunset just because you don't have enough people playing the game. Because if you don't have an audience, well, you don't make money either. It's that simple, even though you have a model that is based mainly on in-game purchases and so forth. So that's tough, and I've seen recently I covered a game called Ring of Elysium a bit, which is a battle royale game that I think had potential to actually compete against a bigger title such as PUBG, at least back in the days. But we also have to consider that sometimes decisions are made by the publishers or the developers for that sake that might not be the best for the game, and especially not for the people playing the game. If they disagree too much and for a very long time, then you will lose players. That's just how it goes. And that's an example of that, and therefore Ring of Elysium as an example will be sunset and terminated, that is in the start of December this year. That was just an example, and I really hope once again that Shatterline doesn't go the same way or the same route. So let me know your thoughts, of course, in the comments. Fill in and let me hear what you think about this game. Does it still have the power, you might say, or potential to actually keep an audience engaged and therefore continue to breathe and hopefully also get some more players into the game? With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give a like. And as mentioned quite a few times in the video, I want to hear from you as well, if you want to. And there could be like a small discussion. I kind of like to have that when it comes to games overall. I'm still very passionate, even though I've been doing videos for a long time. So if you like a variety when it comes to different kind of FPS gaming, then consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. And I'll talk to you soon again. Thanks a lot for watching my Shatterline video. Take care, my friends, and I hope this game survives. I really do. Take care. Later.